What's going on, guys? How are you? Thanks for hopping on today. You guys are the first ones to join up this afternoon, so if everything sounds okay, the audio sounds good, video looks good, let me know in the chat real quick. Make sure our settings are all ironed out before we get going here. Hey Cooper, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Hope you're having a nice Sunday. All right. For anybody that hasn't joined one of these yet, we're working on Tamiya's lovely little 135 scale kit, their T-34 76 CHTZ with the Uralmash turret. This is our third live build stream, and in our first two, we managed to knock out all of these lovely little road wheels and idlers, drive wheels, all that stuff. And then in our last session, we got all this progress done on our hull here. So today, I think we're going to do some finishing details on the hull, and then we're going to move on to our turret. So if that sounds good, you guys know the drill. Get cozy, grab yourself a beverage. I've got mine right here, and let's have some fun. Cooper, no sweat if you gotta take a nap, man. I feel you. Hey, Ahmet, how are you? Thanks for joining today. All right. Where's everybody watching from today? Let me know in the chat. I'm always curious to hear who's tuning in, what time it is for y'all. All right. And while we do that, I think let's just get a quick little refresher on where we are. Oh, we've got to make our external fuel tanks, and we've got to start putting these brackets, these grab handles on the side of the tank. So I think we'll probably start out with those fuel tanks. Might as well do those. So we've got to make 3 of these. Jack's Hobby Station, hello, how's it going? Thanks for joining today. Yeah, so we got to make 3 of these guys right here. So I'll start snipping the parts off for that, and we'll get underway. Fortunately, for simplicity's sake, these are all the same. So we will just get all these parts off here and kind of put them in little buckets. So that's our A1. Put our A2s over here. We'll clean up some of the flash on these. And then we'll throw them together real quick. That's A2. And then we need a whole bunch of A15s. These are the ends. Snip these guys all off. Cooper is coming from Australia. Oh, so it isn't Sunday for you, Cooper. Sorry, it's probably Monday at this point, right? And Georgia. Welcome, guys. All right, let's do a little cleanup work here. Our end caps all sanded down. Anybody that's just joining, welcome, guys. Thanks for hopping on today. We are continuing work on our Tamiya T-34 76 CHTZ version here with the Uralmash turret, this kind of unique turret shape. This is our third live stream. If you haven't been on the last 2 sessions, we got all of our road wheels done and got started on our hull here. Today we're going to finish up some of the hull details and move on to the turret, hopefully. We'll stream for about an hour or so today and see if we can get some of this done. Should be good. So thanks all for joining, hopping on, hanging out with me while I work on this. Yeah, 5 a.m. on Monday, Cooper. That's a little early, man. Ooh. I just lost a piece on the carpet. Fortunately, it didn't go too far. Alright, and as always, guys, if you don't mind smashing that like button, it's super helpful for me because it lets YouTube know that you are enjoying the content, and it'll help boost this live stream signal out to more people on YouTube so we can get more like-minded scale modelers on here hanging out with us. And it will also tell your YouTube algorithm that you enjoy scale model content, and hopefully the next time you log on you'll get served up some more scale model stuff, even if it's not me. So it's a win-win for both of us. So please make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe right here to Sprues and Brews Scale Modeling so you'll be the first to know when new content comes out. Thanks, guys. All right. If you're just hopping on and you haven't done so yet, let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from today. We've got some folks down in Georgia and way over on the other side of the world in Australia coming to us from the future. It's Monday over there. So yeah, let me know in the chat where you guys are all watching from. Right now I'm just trying to get some of the injector pin marks, the flash off these assemblies for the external fuel tanks on the T-34, those iconic external fuel tanks. And then we'll put these guys together. All right. Hope you guys are all having a nice Sunday, or had a nice Sunday, depending on what time it is for you. Had a good weekend altogether. The weather for me was a little all over the place, but spring's coming. Take what you can get, right? All right. Being very careful here to clean these up. All right. Let me know, guys, in the chat if the audio and video all sound good, look good, are working for you today. I know we're just getting underway here, so I just want to make sure you guys are having the best possible streaming experience. All right. Oh, and I got this new toy, if you guys were on the stream last time, from our friends over at Tankcraft Supply. They sent me one of these cement bottle holders, perfect for my little Tamiya extra thin cement. And you can't tell in the video, but this thing's got some weight to it. It's got a nice little no wiggle pad on the bottom there, so I can put my cement right in there, and it ain't going nowhere, which is pretty cool. So beautiful. So thanks to those guys over at Tankcraft. I appreciate hooking me up. Okay, there we go. I had that backwards. I'm going to be careful not to get any cement on myself here. This is going to be a pretty gnarly seam line. Again, this is one of Tamiya's classic kits, but we're going to come back and clean that up with some putty in a minute. So I'm just going to make sure we get our assembly here, and then we'll come back and deal with those seam lines. But we'll start out by just getting this thing together. Cement's already running all over the place, but that's okay. We'll clean it up. All right, let's check the chat again. Where's everybody coming from? Da-da-da. Montreal, Scotland, Peterborough, folks all over the place. Very nice. I know it's really really thrilling watching me hold two pieces of plastic together here. You guys know how it goes. This is all part of the fun. Alright, let's get the end caps on here. Put a little cement in there. We've got two nice little guide pins there. And we will drop this into place. And it should settle right in there nicely. Boop. Just like that. A little cement around that. And there we go. Let's flip it over and get the other side. And as always, if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, about scale modeling in general, feel free to pop them in the chat. We're just hanging out, having a nice old time today. Trying to get a little building done. Should be fun. Hello, Logan. Thanks for joining. Welcome. Let's see, we've got just about 20 people in the chat today. What's going on, everybody? If you haven't joined us for any of the other previous two live streams here, we're building up Tamiya's T-34-76, the CHTZ, excuse me, version with the Uralmash turret here. One of Tamiya's classic T-34 kits. In our previous sessions, our first one we did the road wheels. The second one we worked on our hull here. So today we're doing some finishing details on the hull, and then we'll hopefully move on to the turret if we have enough time. Get started on that at least. Yep, Logan, working on the fuel tanks here. Got 3 of them to knock out. Just getting the basic assembly done, then we're going to come back and use a little putty to clean up these seam lines. It shouldn't be too bad. The fit is good. We'll just have some tidying up to do afterwards. That's all part of it, as we know. Okay. So yeah, it is a really cool turret. I like this one. That's kind of why I picked this one up. It's just a unique look and feel for this T-34 compared to the boxy welded turrets you usually see. Morning, Travis. And Cooper, yeah, the 85 is a classic as well. Always fun. Oh, geez, I got a big thumbprint mark on there. Fortunately, it's on the bottom. And we have to do some cleanup still anyway, so that's okay. Just scrape some of the gunk off of there a little bit. Get that out of the way. Okay, we're fine. Right now you're working on a dragon kit. Logan, a dragon kit, what's the model? What kind of vehicle are we talking about? Alright. If you guys haven't done so already, or you're just joining the chat, please be sure to hit that like button. It's twofold for both of us, have an advantage out of it, because it'll let YouTube know that you like my stuff, and it'll hopefully get some more eyes on our video here. And it'll also tell your YouTube algorithm that you like scale modeling content. So next time you log on, you'll hopefully have some more accurate recommendations. And not just for my stuff, for scale modeling in general. So please be sure to hit that like button. I appreciate the support, guys, as always. All right. You know, Cooper, you kind of inspired me here. Let's do a little poll. Let's see what people think. What's your... Hello, Catherine. right. Let's see. Adam, hello. Welcome. Logan's working on the SDKFC 2-centimeter flat reeling. I'm trying to picture that. I might have to give that a quick Google because I don't recognize that one off the top of my head. Interesting. How's the build? I know Dragon kits are super detailed. They can be a little difficult sometimes, but hopefully it's going well for you. If you're just hopping on, we're working on our external fuel tanks for the Tamiya T-34 76 here. Got 3 of these to build up. We're just doing the basic assembly now, and we'll use a little putty to clean up our seam lines in just a minute here. All right, so that's number 3 of 3. And as you guys might know, if you've built this kit before, once these are done, they just mount right there, like that, on the side of the tank. And kind of a common misconception with these is that these are the actual active fuel tanks for the T-34. There wouldn't have actually been any tubing to the actual power plant of the tank here. These are external fuel tanks, so literally these would just be spare fuel, and if the tank needed to refuel mid-March, they could just siphon fuel out of there into the main stores. They'd be good to go. So it's just like a little portable gas station there. Logan, that's good to hear that it's going well. Very nice. All right, so let's see. What is next? Do I have any toothpicks up here? I do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab some toothpicks and some paper towels so I don't make a mess. All right. And we're going to take some of our Tamiya putty, standard Tamiya white putty. We're going to try and clean up these seam lines a little bit because they can be a little gnarly and we don't want to distract from the detail here. So we're just going to take some of that and just kind of gob it on there along the seam line. And then we'll come back and sand that up in a minute. Doesn't have to be anything pretty because we're going to do some cleanup. But we want to cover up these seams. Excuse the noise, guys. There's some kids playing outside making a racket. So they don't know we're live streaming in here. So hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. All right. Hey there. If anybody's just joining us, welcome. This is our 3rd live stream working on Tamiya's T-34 76 kit. This is the Uralmash 1943 version. And today we're doing some finishing details on the hull. And then hopefully if we have a little time, we will move on to our basic turret assembly as well. If you've got any questions about what we're working on, just want to chat, ask any questions at all, feel free to pop them in the chat. As I mentioned before, we don't need to be too fancy or particularly clean with this. We're going to come back and clean up all of our excess here in just a second with some sanding and with our hobby knife. but we're just putting some putty on these seam lines to help make those a little less apparent. Da, da, da. We've got this folks from all over the place. He might not be the only Italian, who knows? We've got some people from all over the world here joining today. If you haven't done so already, let me know, everybody in the chat, where you're tuning in from. We've got some people tuning in from down in Australia, and it is already Monday for them. Which I know that's not like news or anything, but it is pretty crazy. I went a little overboard on the putty on that one, but again, like I said, we'll clean this all up. No sweat. All right. Okay. Flip this guy over. Let's get this last side here, and then we'll be able to move on. Let that set up a little bit, and then we'll come back and clean it up. Right. If anybody watching plays War Thunder, you probably know how bouncy these T-34s can be. I'm not much of a gamer myself, but I do play War Thunder when I'm not doing this stuff. And I've mostly been playing the American tech tree, a lot of Shermans and stuff, like the lower level Shermans around tier 3 and stuff. And the various T-34s can be pretty hard to kill. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but that sloping armor is pretty effective. Alright, so that is it for our putty. If anybody's just hopping on, quick refresher here. We're working on Tamiya's lovely little T-34 76 kit. This is the 1943 CHTZ Uralmash turret production. Finishing up some details on the hull here before we move on to our turret assembly. So let's get the hull back in focus here. We need to get these grab handles on here now, as well as we can get some of these, got some spare tracks here. I'm not sure if I'm going to put those on yet, because we have some resin aftermarket stowage we might use instead. So we'll see. TBD on that. Alright. But anyway, we do need to get our grab handles on there. So, what are we looking for? A18. Need all three of these. A18. Snip. 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 Get those off. Shouldn't have to do too much cleanup here. Gonna be really careful on so you're playing the T-34 85 right now. Jeez. See, I'm not coming up against too many 85s. I did unlock the jumbo, so I'm up to the Sherman M4A3E2, the 75 version, but I don't really have anything else to kind of balance at that tier. I've got the M10, JMC M10 tank destroyer, so I kind of backpedaled, and I'm just bombing around in my M4A1 and that M10 right now till I have enough silver lions to buy the M4A2 76 and M4A1 76. Then I'll be facing more of the likes of you. Yeah, Cooper, that's how it goes, man. That RNG is brutal. Can always get you. All right. Let's see. All right, so we have to attach these guys on here. We've got some nice little guide holes to give us an idea of where they need to go. So we can kind of follow those. get a little bit of cement on our mounting points here, like so. And then we're just going to pop that right into place. Like that. Easy does it. Boom, boom. I'm going to take a little extra cement here, just tap those contact points as well for a little extra support. Simple as that. We've got our first grab handle on there. Yeah, Cooper, I'm going to keep cruising on the American Tech tree. I just need to make some money. Because playing with the jumbo and no support, it's really expensive when you get killed in that thing. So I'm trying to make some money first, so I have some better backup before I really push down the tree further. All right, 1 and 2. All right, get our second grab handle on there. A little off kilter, so we're going to push that up with the knife a bit. All right, now we're on a line there. Just a touch of cement. Boop. 1 and 2. Okay. Let's see. Jack says, if you need silver lines, I'd recommend the 2.3 to 2.7 US. Is that, what's in that tier, Jack? I have it. I just can't remember who that is. Is that like the M8 howitzer and the M5A1 and stuff? The Chafies. Not Chafies. The Stewarts. Do you guys do you mostly just play ground battles, or do you do air battles as well? And do you play an arcade, or do you guys like to do realistic battles? I'm coming from World of Tanks. I played World of Tanks for years before I made the jump over to War Thunder, and I do like War Thunder. I think better. I don't know. It's more realistic and kind of fun in a lot of ways. But I have been playing arcade. I just think it's fun to kind of bomb around. A little bit more casual, especially when I'm only playing for a few quick turns. But yeah. Yeah. Crazy Loco, what's going on? I'm glad you're not in the truck right now. Realistic ground. I've got mixed thoughts on the 105 Sherman there. I struggle with it. I don't know. I feel like I haven't spaded it by any means. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys think of that 105 Sherman in War Thunder, if it's any good. I've got 2 more grab handles put on the starboard side of the vehicle now. Get these guys cleaned up and on there. When you play realistic ground battles, do you just get the one respawn? It's just or not the respawn, I suppose. You just get the single vehicle, like it is with air battles. I've done some realistic air battles, but not realistic ground battles very much. I gotta buy some camouflage first, foliage, so I don't get absolutely smoked. I do love the silhouette of the T-34 because it's got all this like just super practical stuff on it. Oh, sorry, I just put my head in front of the camera. Apologies, guys. Like these grab handles all over the place, just for the crew getting in, getting out. Passengers, we got a bunch of infantry just hanging on, getting a quick lift. I don't know. These things were quite, sorry about the squeak there, quite practical and efficient, if not the most technical things in the world. I can appreciate them for that. Alright, there's our last grab handle. Boop. Boop. Okay, so we got all 5 of those on there. Alright, backing up. Let's see. What do people say? Oh, how's our poll doing? 50-50 on the T-34 variants. Wow, I didn't expect that. Interesting. Alright, let's see. Where are we? On the M4105. The heat round is decent, but it's just the fact that facing almost no medium tank can kill it from the front, and it can kill most things. Oh, that's good. Oh, you need spawn points. That's interesting. Adam, track links. Yeah, I'm gonna do. Where are they? Where did I put them? I'm gonna do some. Oh, here they are. One second. I'm going to do individual tracks here. These are from Tankcraft Supply. And they are individual link and pin tracks here. So I'll have a whole video on that when we get to it. I haven't used these before. The folks over at Tankcraft were nice enough to send these along. So I will make a whole video on that coming soon. Hopefully as soon as we get this guy wrapped up, we can move on to the tracks. All right. Let's return to our fuel tanks here, clean these up. Oh, we'll do a quick pause here. Ooh, we got 30 people on the stream. Welcome, guys. If you are new or you haven't joined for any of our past few streams here, we're building up Tamiya's T-34-76. This is the 1943 production with the Uralmash turret. This is a pressed steel turret. We talked about this a little on the last episode, so to speak, here. But unlike the other 1943 versions and the earlier versions of the T-34 turret that you see, this is pressed steel, so it's not welded, and it's not actually cast. So they took a big piece of hot steel, molten hot steel, and they pressed it in a form, and it makes this unique shape here. So this is all one single piece of steel with the cutouts obviously on the top for the access points and the vent, periscopes, and all that jazz, and the armament itself. But you don't see a lot of pressed turrets, so this is a pretty unique shape here for the T-34. That's kind of why I wanted to do that one. Let's see what folks are saying in the chat. We're trying to get into building some more armor. I usually only build aircraft. Got any advice when it comes to painting? Yeah. Who said that? So I may. Yeah, I've got a video on my channel about refurbishing my M10 tank destroyer that kind of talks about the painting process. I will do a full painting video on this when we get there. But yeah, if you want to check out that video on the M10 refurb, I do kind of a whole overview of how I paint up my armor kits there. So check that out. Let me know what you think. Hopefully that's helpful. All right, so yeah, we're gonna clean up our, oh, sorry, I bumped the microphone. Hope that wasn't too loud for you guys. I'm gonna clean up our fuel tanks here. Just gonna try and buff down these seam lines a little bit so they're not as egregious. Also, if you're just joining us, let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. We've got some folks from all over the place. For from the States to Canada. Got some folks over in Europe. Got some folks down in Australia. We're covering the whole world here, guys. So yeah, let me know where you're tuning in from. Right. And right now I'm just using my finer grit sandpaper. I don't actually know what the grit is on it, but we're just trying to knock down some of the, sorry I bumped the mic again, some of the gunk around that seam line. Just switching between my finer grit and my slightly rougher one. Just trying to clean this up a little bit so it doesn't look so obvious when we get it on the tank. Use our hobby knife here to get some of the excess off. It's okay if you take some kind of chunks out of it, because this would have been this isn't armored, so this was a softer metal on the outside here. So it's okay if we see some kind of chunks in it. There are some, if you can kind of see here, it's tough to tell. Let me see if I can get this closer to the camera. There are some molded in kind of dings in it already. So those kind of fit par for the course here. All right. Kind of slow going, but we're making do here. And I know I'm cutting towards myself on some of these guys. I know you're not supposed to do that. I'm being super careful, and I've been doing this for a long time. So just be aware when you're cutting. Control your blade and know where it's going to go if you slip. It's your Sprues and Brews safety PSA for the day. All right. Let's see. What are other folks doing here? Yeah, Cooper, I would like to do some streams, War Thunder streams, just messing around here, kind of in between the armor builds, but my setup here is I haven't found the right settings on OBS to stream War Thunder at any decent quality. So still working on that, but hopefully someday I can have some War Thunder streams here. Let's see. Got some folks from South Africa. Hello. Thanks for joining. Washington State. All over the place. Brave to build a Russian tank. Yeah, I don't think it's brave. I wasn't going to cancel this project. I ordered this this kit before the invasion started over in Ukraine, and I think kind of a fun fact: the first factory to produce the T-34, not this particular variant, but the original T-34, was in Ukraine. So there's a little nod to those brave folks defending their country right now. It's the birthplace of the T-34, believe it or not. And I think that you good folks watching can separate the historical vehicle here from the crap that's going on in Ukraine right now. And I hope that there is a swift end to that conflict and those brave people defending their homeland there can get some rest soon. I know I'm oversimplifying the issue quite a bit here on the stream. I don't want to get into it But wishing the best for the brave people of Ukraine, that this is over sooner than later. All right. If anybody's just joining, welcome aboard, guys. We're working on Tamiya's T-34 76 kit here. I'll get the box art again. Give you guys a peek. This is the 1943 production with the special Uralmash turret here. This is our third time streaming this build. So if you want to check out those other two, there are full replays on the channel. Today we're working on some finishing details for the hull. Right now we're doing these external fuel tanks, and then hopefully we're going to have some time to move on to the turret. Alright, so it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but our seam lines are pretty much gone. So that'll look a little better when it's on the side of the tank here. Might as well just mount this guy right on there while we're at it. That looks pretty good, right? Alright, do a little cement in there. Whoop. Whoop. And we'll mount our first tank. Just like that. Bada boom. Very nice. Alright guys, let's take it easy in the chat here. Don't go after anybody. We're going to have to end this. Please, be respectful. Alright. Alright, let's see. Just came back from the model shop. I have no videos. How did it go? Hope you got something. Picked up something nice for yourself. I haven't been to a proper hobby shop in a very long time. I'm a bit jealous. Sounds nice. All right. And if you guys haven't done so already, please remember to hit that like button. Helps YouTube know that you guys are enjoying the content, and hopefully it'll help send some other modelers our way. Let them know that we're doing this today. Kind of boost the signal for us. So please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Right here to Sprues and Brews Scale Modeling. So you will be the first to know the next time I've got a video going up. Thanks, guys. If you've been here for a while, I'm sorry, I'm probably a broken record on that. But I don't know how many people are hopping on, coming off, whatever. You guys know. That's most of that one. Our second fuel tank all set. Buff down the last little bit of this. Excuse me. Get some of our mess out of the way. Alrighty. As I was saying earlier, if anybody's just hopping on to, interesting thing about these fuel tanks, and kind of a misnomer with them, is that they weren't actually active fuel tanks feeding the power plant of the tank. These are just spares. They're essentially just jerry cans stuck on the side of the vehicle. So if the crew needed to refuel mid-March, they could siphon fuel out of these, but they aren't active fuel tanks, which is kind of interesting. I'm covered in, oh my goodness, I'm covered in little bits of putty here, making a mess. Trying to keep the workstation clean for you guys, and I'm making a mess out of myself in the process. All right. Okay, there's that. Second one down. Da-da-da-da-da. All right. Clean that up a bit more visible seam there. And we're not doing anything too fancy here, just trying to clean these seams up a little bit so they're not as obvious when we're painting. I know this won't be like a absolute world beater of a kit because it is an older one. It's got some pretty basic details, but we're gonna have some fun with it. It's gonna be great. All right, so here's our second fuel tank, external fuel tank. Pop that one right on there behind. That's Buddy in the front. Get a little cement in the mounting hole there. And boom. 2 down. These guys are ready to start marching. A little extra on there for good measure. Make sure these are nice and secure. Okay. And then we have one more to clean up. All right. Wow, 40 people on the stream. What's going on, guys? Anybody new here, welcome. Thank you for hopping on. Really glad to have you guys. We're currently cleaning up some external fuel tanks for Tamiya's T-34 76. At the start of the stream, I kind of built these up real quick, and now we're just going back, trying to clean up the seam lines a little bit, make this look a little cleaner for painting time. I put some Tamiya putty on these seams. We're going back and just kind of shaving off some of the excess, because the nice thing about these tanks is they would have been a softer metal, and they would have gotten kind of dinged up, unlike the armor itself. So if we got chunks taken out of it and all that, it just kind of adds to the realism, makes it seem like they're a little bit more beat up. So it works out pretty well. Alright, cruising right along here. Again, I'm making a mess. I'm covered in putty crumbs here. It's okay. Alright, let's see. Is the stream okay? I'm getting a pop-up here that says it's not getting any data. Oh, I think we're alright. Let me know in the chat, guys. Is the stream all right? Quality, audio, everything good? All right. Last side, guys. Oh, boy. We're almost ready to move on here. We're getting along. We're getting here. Okay. Putty. I'm gonna have to vacuum in here when we're done, guys. You can see the carpet under my workstation here. It's covered in It's covered in little bits of putty. I did a poll earlier about what oh good, glad to hear everything's working well. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Yeah, I did a poll earlier in the stream about what people's favorite version of the T-34 was. Right now we're looking at 60% say the T-34-85 and 40% say the T-34-76. So if you haven't voted yet, I'm curious to hear. Crazy Loco, I'm glad that my head keeps getting in the stream. Sorry, I mentioned that on the last one too. I'm trying to get this panned back enough so you guys can see all the goodies that are going on here. But every once in a while I lean in to see what's happening, and I stick my big dumb head in the middle of the camera. So apologies. All right, let's attach our final external fuel tank here. 3 of 3. Get a little cement in the mounting hole there. Boom, boom, boom. We want the filler cap in the back according to the directions, and let's just press that into place. Touch a little extra on there. These guys for good measure. And just like that, we've got all of our external fuel tanks and our little grab handles. Cool. All right. So I think that wraps it up pretty much for our haul. Oh, nope. One more thing. We got to put on the big bandsaw. This big, not bandsaw. What am I? Big chop saw here. What the hell are these things called? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm blanking on this. Somebody let me know. The big saw. We got to put the big saw on here. Where is it? Let's see. Where is the saw? Where did it go? Where is the saw? Oh, there it is. Got it. 22. Bloop. Bloop. It's kind of like a rule with Russian tanks. I feel like it has to have a big saw on it, and it has to have a big log on it. It's just Soviet tank 101. Okay. Let's see. The Char B1. Adam, I have a Char B1. I painted it up a really, really long time ago. And then I left it for a while. And I primed it up again to clean it up. But I haven't finished that. I might use it for a video at some point. If you guys would be interested in that, I can show you. It's in the other room. I'll go grab it at some point here. But it's a beautiful kit. I really like it. If you can pick one up, I would recommend it because I don't see them around as much anymore. But I had a blast with it. Besides, we don't see a lot of French tanks, so it's a pretty fun one. All right, our saw is mounted on here. Boom, boom. And we can continue. All right, so I'm gonna skip the tracks for now. We're gonna come back and do all of our stowage probably in the next video or the one after that. I'm not really sure. But today big DP machine gun. That's gonna be fun. Maybe we'll put that on the back. Anyway, turret time. Does that sound good to you guys? Turret time? All right, cool. Let's move this out of the way. Also, cheers. If anybody's enjoying a nice Sunday brew with me. We're having a little Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, one of my go-tos. I have a bird feeder on the window here, and there are a couple of finches duking it out over the last bit of seed. I bet you guys can't hear them, but they're having a grand old time. Take it easy, guys. We're being peaceful in here. All right. So, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make our 76mm gun here, main gun. No interior breech assembly on this one, so it's pretty simple. Let's get going on it. See what we can find. So let's see, D12. No particular order here. We'll just bust these off. That's D12. Here is our mantlet, the main mantlet there. D2 is the receiver. D3, D4, the two sides of the armored housing. Excuse me. What else? Here is the main barrel. I'm going to be trying to be really careful with that so I don't have to clean it up too much. Our end of the gun barrel. What am I missing? Just the mounting point, D28. This is that little flex joint here. So we can elevate and depress the gun. All right, cool. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. What are folks saying? Bless you. Thank you. Excuse me. Crazy Loca. Just got a box of stowage to put on my tanks from Value Gear. Nice. Value Gear is great. We are going to put Value Gear in here as well. Crazy Loca, if you're interested in that. I'll give you guys a sneak peek into my stash. This is just some of it. I have a lot of Value Gear stuff. I've got some extra fronts for the Shermans. These little sandbags, these are awesome. I'm doing a little aside here. For this kind of thing, this is my 761st Tank Battalion M4A3 that I got to return to. Those are great, if you haven't used one of those yet. What else we got here? We'll do a whole video on stowage later. I think this is another, yeah, this is just a generic stowage. Some good stuff there. Check those out later. It's a bunch of extras. Packs and bags, boxes, pioneering tools and stuff. We'll have a whole episode on this, how to kind of pick this stuff out, see what fits. Baggies, boxes, logs. We might use some of those. That'll be fun. All sorts of goodies. So we're going to have some fun with that. Yeah, it's great stuff. If you guys haven't used Value Gear, Steve's a really nice dude. Really good shipping, good value. He prices the stuff super fair, and the shipping is very fast too. And he always throws in a few extra little bits and bobs there. He's a nice guy. So if you haven't checked out Value Gear yet, it's a really great and easy way to upgrade whatever project you're working on with a little bit of stowage, a little bit of personality to make it unique, which I think is important in building, so it doesn't all look the same. Well, guys, we're at the 59-minute mark. We're almost to the hour here. If anyone's been here since the beginning, congrats on making it this far. And if you're just joining us, welcome aboard. We're having a good old time making up this T-34 76 from Tamiya. Time flies when you're having fun. So I appreciate you guys joining today. All right. Sorry if I'm a bit sniffly, guys. Feel a little under the weather today, but nothing to worry about. All right. I just hope I'm not annoying you guys. All right. Right now, I'm just carefully sanding down the seam line on this 76 barrel. One of the nice things here is that it's not a two-piece barrel, like two halves, like some of their older older Sherman kits. So a little less cleanup for us, which is very nice. Let's see, besides the BF-109, what's another aircraft you like to do? I really like B-17s. Here, I'll give you guys a little peek. I've got a big old Revel one that I keep on top of my workstation here. I love these kits, but they get really dusty. Which is okay. I made this a couple years ago. I love this kit. The Revel B-17F was actually the first model kit I ever made when I was younger. So it holds a special place in my heart. You gotta love a B-17. How about you guys? What's your favorite aircraft model to build? Curious to hear. Alright. Just cleaned up the end of our barrel here. We're going to mount that in place on the end of the main barrel that we just cleaned up. This will need a little bit of buffing, I'm sure. I'm going to try and see, there's my head in the way again. Loco for you. I'm going to try and make this as clean as I can so we don't have too much cleanup to do. Get all that in there nice. Okay. Seems relatively straight. I think we're good. All right, so we'll set that aside for now. And we'll return to our housing assembly here. A little bit of flash to clean up, not too much though. Just a quick pass of the hobby knife. Tidy up any of that mess. That one's good. Get some more dust out of here. Let's see. Focke-Wulf 190. 148 scale HK Avro Lancaster. That's a big one, Lars. Wow. Sounds like a great project. Kind of jealous of that one. Hope it's going well. Hellcat P47. I hear that for sure. I love me a Bolt. Haven't done a F6F, done an F4F. But I haven't done the successor of the Hellcat there. And as I mentioned earlier in the stream, if you guys haven't seen the first two episodes, for lack of a better word, of this live stream, building all of our road wheels, and most of our hull, those full replays are on the channel if you want to check them out later. Today we're working on, well, we got our external fuel tanks on there, some of our grab handles. Now we're working on our main gun, and of course, for anybody that just jumped on, this is our Tamiya T-34 76 1943 with the pressed steel Uralmash turret. So I thank you guys once again for joining today. It's a pleasure to hang out with you guys, have some company while I'm working. Hopefully you guys can get some out of it too. Put a little cement on there. Let's get the two halves of our gun housing, armored gun housing, sealed up here, nice and good. Whoop. Now we will have a bit of a seam to clean up again, but that was all part of the fun. No worries there. Let's take D12 and clean this up too. That's going to go right in there. This is that return plate or base plate for that external housing. Some beautiful details in there. Got some little fake weld lines. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see if the camera will pick them up. There we go. Looks pretty nice. So that's going to fit right in there. I am just going to let that sit a little longer so I can put a bit of putty on that, clean that up. Here is our gun mantlet. Again, for my War Thunder players, this is a good weak spot, right? Hitting the sides of the, I know it's shaped here, but the gun mantlet, I've heard that this is a decent place to aim, other than the shot trap under the turret itself. Let me know. Curious. Alright, so this guy is going to go right there. This is going to be inside the tank, so it doesn't really matter, but get there. Clean that up. And we will come back in a later episode, guys, and do some cast texture on here. If you've seen some of my other videos, I like to use this Tamiya Ammo Meg anti-slip paste to add some texture to our cast components, like here, and we'll do a similar thing on the turret itself. But yeah, it should be fun. Let's see. Yeah, Lars, I bet that is a big kit. Jeez. It's gonna take a lot of paint. So I'm going to grab our barrel here again. Just give this a quick sand around that connection point that we just put on there. The end of the barrel. Try and buff that out so it looks like one piece. Just a little bit of sanding. And with round shapes like this, I think the trick to sanding is just keep moving so you don't get any flat points. You sand the whole thing evenly, or as evenly as you can. So I'm just going to keep spinning this, buffing down that seam line very carefully. Switching between my heavier grit and finer grit sandpaper. Okay. Here, a little hand here. Just gonna see what we missed. Give it another quick pass. I don't have any flat points on there, so we're okay. A little more Tamiya cement. Okay, looking good. We're gonna let that sit for another second here. Gonna put it in a frame. Oh, sorry for the blur. All right. We'll do a little more work here today, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. Probably just finish up this turret and we'll call it for the day. All right, let's see here. Just checking what's up next. All right. So this is probably a good time for me to put a little putty on this gap here. Grab one of our toothpicks again. Get a little bit of Tamiya putty. We're just going to put that right along. Whoop. The seam line here. It's okay if it looks a little messy because we're going to come sand it down. The extra off there. Okay. Let's see if we need any on our, you know what, yeah, I'm going to put a little bit on our barrel here. Probably benefit from it. Just making sure we clean up that seam line nice and good. We'll come back and sand this down. Get a nice smooth barrel. Because you always get, your eyes are always drawn to the barrel a little bit when you're looking at the vehicle, so we want to make sure that that looks as good as it can be. Some of this can be slow going, but you know, all part of the fun here. Let's check on our poll again, guys, shall we? We've got a running poll of what's your favorite version of the T-34. We've got As it currently stands, 67 voters. The 85, the T-34 85 upgun version is at 51% right now. The 76, the classic like we're building right now, is at 49. So we're neck and neck. We're probably going to go for another 10 minutes or so today, guys. So make sure you cast your vote if you haven't done so already on the poll about who is the ultimate T-34 variant. All right, here we are just sanding down this bit of putty that we put on the top of the gun armor here. The mantlet armor. A little heavier grit. Switch down to our finer grit. Buff that out a little bit. Get that looking nice. All right. Okay. Get a little of that excess off the back here that I put on by accident. And we're looking okay. Cleaned up that seam line a bit. It's a little less obvious. So that's good. Oh, guys, I think we just had a big swing in the poll. Yep, the 76 just took the lead. Now we've got the T-74, or T-34 76 with 51%. The T-34 85 now trailing with 49. Still neck and neck, but we had a quick swing in the poll. So make sure you get your vote in there, guys, about the ultimate T-34 variant, according to us expert modelers. All right, just cleaning up the seam line on our barrel here. Got to make sure we keep moving with the sandpaper so we don't get any flat spots. That was our heavy grit. Gonna go down to our finer grit for a little cleanup. All right. That's looking pretty solid. Very nice. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's build up this this mantlet now. See how it looks. All right, so first things first, we're going to take this armored housing. That is going to fit right into place there on the that back plate. Get a little cement on there. Boom, boom, boom. I like to go a little extra, especially when you have a connection that's a weld line. So if we push extra hard, some of that cement will kind of come up through the seams, kind of accentuate that weld line. Make it look like it's actually welded on there, rather than just kind of floating in space. Which helps with our sense of realism, of course. Kind of come along here, press this nice and solid, make sure we've got all of our gaps filled and a good strong connection there. All right, looking good. Oh, sorry, my head was in the camera again. I just saw that now. Apologies. Okay. So that's on here, and you might notice we've got a bit of a seam line on the bottom of this. That is okay, because we're never really going to see that from when we're looking at the model, which is okay. All right, next we are going to take this front piece, and it's going to slide right onto what we just added there. Get a little cement. Put that in the seam lines there. Oh, not the seam lines, I suppose, but the our connection points. And we're going to press that nice and flush. Make sure we get a good fit as the cement starts to bind. Come back over here, get a little extra cement for good measure. All right, let's give that one more press. We're gonna be really careful that we don't touch any of the wet cement here. You don't want a big fingerprint. Look, as I said that, I did it. Oh well. Okay. All right. I think we're looking all right there. Cool. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, see if you guys can see this better. How's that? Focus a little better. See what we're doing here. All right. So that's that. Next, we're going to flip this over. And our pivot point there is going to mount in the back. Get a little cement in there. Slot that guy in. Boom, right there. That's going to allow our main gun to articulate up and down. Elevate and depress. A little extra cement in there just for good measure. Oh, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Just kidding. I knew I did something wrong there. We've got to make sure we attach this piece first. So, there's actually something to pivot. Let's get a little extra on there. Okay, boom, boom. There we go. So we only wanted to get cement on our articulating piece, not on the mantlet. Phew, okay. I was being a little careless there. I almost missed that part. Logan says, have you ever wanted to build a paper Panzer or anything in 1946 like that? I'm not I don't do a lot of the what if kind of stuff. Not because I don't enjoy it. I just haven't really ever given it a chance. So maybe one of these days I will. I kind of like the classics, the icons that there were a lot of. Hence my fascination with M4 Shermans and BF-49s and B-17s and all that jazz. But I'd be up for a little messing around with a what if type kit. Alright guys, in our last step here, we're going to just mount our main gun right in the mantlet here. Fit that into place. And we're going to rotate this to make sure that our seam line is not directly on the top, or one of our cleaner sections is on the top here. That looks pretty good. Gonna look right at this from head on, make sure everything is balanced. We don't have any incorrect leaning on the gun. We've got a nice bit of space around all the sides. And that should be it. Okay, everything articulates as we want it. That's good. So I'm going to set this aside and let that do its thing. Thank you, Dave. This hobby's all about nice saves, right? Alright, let me see here. I am going to go check in with my fiance real quick, see how she's doing. She's working on some of her own stuff. And if she's still working, I'll come up here and we'll keep plugging along in the turret. Otherwise, we might call it for the day. But give me 5 minutes, guys. I'll be right back. Probably not even 5. Give me like 90 seconds. I'll be right back, okay? Alright, gang, we're back. We're going to keep cruising for a little bit here. Let's see what I missed. Alright. Let's see. Robert, welcome. Sorry to get the notification. I don't really know how that works. If you're a subscriber, you should get notifications if you're a subscriber, but if you haven't, you should see a little bell icon for my channel. It's either on the channel page or on this video. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications when I start doing stuff like this. Hopefully that helps, but I do think that's the best way to make sure you're going to be notified for live streams and stuff like this. John Alec, what's going on? Cheers. So guys, here is our 76 main gun here. Got a little articulation, which is very nice, as we wanted. There's a little gap right there at the seam of our kind of gun mantle protection there. I'm gonna put a little tiny dot of putty on there, just because I don't like that gap. I would like that to go away. I'm gonna take just a little dab of putty and just pop that right in there. We'll clean that up in just a second, but that should be helpful. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Crazy Logan, thanks for the plug there. Robert, yeah, if you're looking for beginner-friendly kits, I do have a video on the channel. It should be the first one you see on my actual channel page there, or one of the first ones, on my top 5 kit recommendations for beginners. I picked a few kind of on the spectrum of beginner to like intermediate beginner, just to kind of get you started on your journey. And I kind of explain why those kits made the list as I go along here. So check that out. Hopefully that's helpful for you. There's some kits that I recommend doing to get started. And yeah, I hope that is beneficial for you. It's a great hobby, so welcome aboard. No videos on my channel. I totally hear you. Weathering is one of those things that's really easy to go overboard. No sweat. I mean, that's all part of the process. Live and learn, right? But I know how frustrating that can be. Don't give up on it. I'm sure it's gonna have a good place on your shelf there, and as a reminder of next time, don't do as much weathering, right? all about improving and learning as we go here. Hey, Dark Soldier, welcome aboard. Thanks for hopping on. Oh, no worries that you can't stay. Thanks for saying hey, though. Hope you're having a nice weekend, and take care. All right, so there's our main armament there. We're gonna pan out a little bit because we're gonna get into some bigger stuff again. Whee! All right, we are gonna do our turret assembly now, so that's fun. Should be pretty straightforward. First thing we're gonna do, start snipping these pieces off. We'll get our upper here. Portion of our turret. Snip, snip, snip. We shouldn't have too much cleanup here just because of the nature of this turret, how it looks. Just gonna come and get those little attachment spurs off there. Unfortunately, they're right on the front and the back, which is kind of annoying, but easy enough to clean up. Boom, boom. Sanding stick, buff that down a little bit. All right, and yeah, if anybody is just joining, it looks like we've got 30 folks on right now. We're almost at the hour-and-a-half mark. We're working on Tamiya's T-34 76. This is the CHTZ Uralmash turret, 1943 production, and we're just getting started on that turret, so good timing. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit that like button. It's a huge help to me, and it lets YouTube know that you enjoy this kind of content. So next time you are on, hopefully you'll get some more recommendations for stuff that are similar to this, even if it's not me. It's there's a whole bunch of good builders on here, so that'll be helpful. I'm really impressed with the casting, well, not the casting, but the metal texture on this turret. You guys can kind of see here. It's got some nice little divots and stuff in there. We're gonna jazz it up a little bit, just because that's what we do, right? But it looks pretty good off the bat, so that's not bad. All right, so first things first, let's get this on here. I don't think there's any reason not to, so we're going to go right along our connection lines here, seam lines, and get a healthy amount of Tamiya extra thin in there. So that bonds up nicely. Gonna go right around the whole thing. Make sure everything gets covered here. This will be out of sight because the turret is going to be on the tank, obviously. So we don't need to clean up this seam line at all, really, due to the nature of this Uralmash pressed turret, which is a big help. So we're just going to gop a bunch of this on here, and that'll be that. Simplicity is not always a bad thing. All right, so that's that. I'm just gonna hold that in place for a second here. See if I can kind of pinch this so I can have a sip of the old brew while we're drying here. Crazy Loco, your grandfather was a B-24 crewman. That's wild. I'm sure there's some stories there for sure. Hi Hank, you plan to do a video for the weathering on this T-34? Yeah, we're going to do a whole live series for this thing. We'll have videos on the whole process here, start to finish. I've had a lot of requests since this channel started to do a full build video. And I figured just live builds like this, I'll splice it together and make something a little cleaner at the end, but these full live builds are probably the best way to kind of show you guys what goes into this, you know, what the process is of doing a whole kit from start to finish if you haven't done one, or even if you're just interested in kind of watching how it goes. Yeah. So yeah, there will be a weathering video for sure. Painting, weathering, the whole 9 yards, tracks, everything. So guys, I'm just dry fitting the gun mantlet and the main armament on here. This looks pretty good. It's a beautiful turret. I do like the T-34 turret. It just looks sleek and dangerous, but somehow kind of rugged at the same time. I don't know if you guys agree. That's pretty cool. We'll leave that off there for now until we get all the other little bits and bobs on there. Actually, I don't know. Let's review what we need to do. So that's the main assembly. We gotta get the vent cover on there, the fan cover, some lifting hooks. This is the periscope sight. Looks like a little viewport. There's probably the pistol port right there. Some grab handles, more pistol ports. And then our Mickey Mouse hatches, of course, and the top of the gun mantlet. So you know what? Let's get the gun on there. Let's get it on there because it'll give us something to grab onto when we're kind of working on the rest of this. All right. So let's see about fit here. The pins go in there and there, and that all touches flush. So we're gonna just go put a healthy amount of cement right around here, right on the top of the mantlet. We just want to make sure we don't get any on that moving point there. The pins around there, boom, boom, boom. And then just like that, we're gonna fit this in and just hold that right in place for a minute while that all sets up. Should be good. Cool. Now I'm going to check real quick, guys, while that dries. I don't know if this is this actual gun mallet is welded on or bolted on. I assume it's welded on. I took some screenshots. Let me take a peek. Let's find a good screenshot of the Uralmash turret. This is kind of blurry, but you guys can kind of see. That's welded. So we'll recreate some of those weld marks. That'll be good. We'll do that again once we get to the texturing part. That probably won't be today, but just so we know. Let's see. Steve asks, right? Yeah, Steve just joined. What kit is this? Looks like Tamiya instructions. You are right. Good eye. We're doing Tamiya's T-34 76. This is the 1943 CHTZ Uralmash turret production. This is our third live stream video. We're doing some finishing up work on the hull here. We got our external fuel tanks, some of our grab handles on there, and now we are working on our turret assembly. Just hanging out, chatting, having a good time. But yeah, it's coming along. Kind of looks like a pipe. All right, let's see. And it's 135 scale, if we weren't sure about that. All right, so let's see. First, let's put this D27 on here. This is the top of the gun mantlet. Let's put that on there. Boom, boom. Get some of those pin marks off. And then there's a little slot that notches in right there. Don't love this bit of flash, so we're just gonna zip the hobby knife off there. Clean as a whistle. Okay. Let's sand that down a little bit. Make sure that's all even. There we go. I'll just get a dollop of our cement, put it right in there, and then this guy is going to slide into place. Boom. Just like that. And now our armament still articulates, but it's got some top cover, which is helpful for everybody. Also just get a quick dash in there just in case. Okay. So there's that. All right, let's see. What's next? We'll start with some of the bigger parts here. We'll get our vent cover on there first, a little cast vent cover. The ventilation obviously would allow the fumes from the breech of the gun, kicking all that cartridge fume back into the fighting compartment. This would have a place to blow it out, which is important when you have living people inside the tank, of course. So there's a little notch there for that. That's just going to slide right into place. Boop. Just like, I've got a hair on there. I can't get off. Okay. I'm just going to touch a little cement right around that. Kind of push that into place. We'll let that settle up. I see a few folks have to jump off. Thanks for joining today, guys. I appreciate it. It was fun hanging out. Oh, we lost focus here. Come back. There we go. Why is my focus going in and out? Come on, camera. You can do it. There we go. Yeah, and if you're just joining, we're working on this Tamiya T-34 76. Right now we're obviously working on the turret. This is the Uralmash pressed steel turret. That's the unique shape. We're just getting some of these details on here. Alright, so that is our vent. That's good. Next, let's do our periscope. I'm going to leave these little lifting rings until last because those are going to be kind of fragile and I don't want to pop them off. I'm looking for D44. D44. It's like weird bingo. D44. Where are you? 43? 46? I'm sure you guys see it and I don't. There it is, 44. Hello. Snip. Snip. All right, that's off. Buff down that annoying little pin mark. Okay. And we've got some seams on the side. Knock those down as well. Okay. Flip it over. All right, here's a little periscope. Doot. Not much to see out of. I guess beggars can't be choosers. Put that into this little protrusion there. Okay. Does that sit in any of it? No, it doesn't. Okay. Kind of floats. I guess it doesn't rotate and stuff, but there's a little gap. That's interesting. All right, so there's our periscope. Now our man can see a little bit at least. That's helpful. And I'm trying to think now. Soviet tanks, is the gunner on the, because I know it differs in German and American tanks. In American tanks, the gunner's on the right side, gunner, commander, loader. In a Russian tank, I'm not positive. The German tank is the other way around. Gunner's on the left, loader's on the right, commander's in the back. If anybody knows, is this the gunner? I assume this is the gunner if he's got the periscope, right? Or no? I don't know. Somebody let me know in the chat. What's the arrangement of a Soviet tank turret? All right. Move on to the side here. Before we put those little lifting rings on, I don't want to knock those off like I mentioned. D7. We've got 2 pistol port punch outs. We'll get those guys on. Where's D7? Here we go. Snap, snap. These are very small. Holy hell. Okay. Those are going to be fun to try and get into place. Trying to very carefully trim off the excess flash without damaging the actual piece. Might be helpful to just put it on the ground or on the mat here. Alright. Snip. That's one. Hold you in place. It's like I'm cutting a very small steak or something. Alright. Azzy asks, any figures with this kit? Yes, there are some figures that come with it. I'm not going to use them for this one, however. See, it's a couple infantrymen. One with this anti-tank rifle, and then we've got our big DP machine gun there. But instead, I'm going to use an Alpine Miniatures tank commander figure here. So we'll have a video on him at some point, painting him up, but he'll look really nice sitting in one of these turret hatches there. So we'll get him going at some point. Let's see, folks. Commander left, gunner right. Commander left, gunner right. So the commander gets the... That makes sense, so you can get a better field of view of what's going on. And the gunner's got the coax type sight. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Cool. Thanks, guys. Alright, so let's get these on there. Our little pistol ports. So I'm going to put a small bit of glue, cement, not glue, right there. And then we're going to kind of nudge this guy into place. So the flat part is on the bottom. We're going to just push that in there, just like so. Okay. Kind of tap that in place like I want it. Make any last minute adjustments, just trying to flatten it out a little bit. There's our first pistol port. All right. Good. One down. Let's flip her over and do the same thing. Be careful not to knock the one that we just did. That would be bad. Right. Slide you into place. A little extra cement there, so that's drying up already. Okay. All right. You know, I have a video on my best tools for beginners, best supplies, equipment, recommendations for beginners, and I say that the hobby knife is probably my most used tool, and it definitely is, because not only am I cutting with it, but I do a lot of my small part articulation with it. I slide things into place, I push things into position, just kind of do the little nudges and stuff. I do the same thing with my decals. This is like an extension of my body at this point. So it's good to have a trusty hobby blade that you're happy with. All right, so we got our 2 pistol ports on there. Do little nubs on the side. Looks a little higher up than that one. I think it is. I'm gonna nudge this guy up a little bit. Whoop. 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 Is that better? That's better. And again, don't worry about the extra glue. We're going to do some texturing on this in the next video. So no sweat. All right. Tim's Hobby, I'm glad to hear you're enjoying the videos. I appreciate it. That's great. Hank, for a great Tamiya kit, I would recommend the Tiger 1 mid-production. I have done the Tiger 1 mid-production. That's a great kit. I've got the Tiger 1 early, the Africa Core kit. That is on deck for very soon. And I've got some fun things to share with you guys on that. So stay tuned. That'll be coming at some point here. All right, I'm going to open another beer real quick. We're at the 1:45 mark. We'll probably just do this until we hit 2. At a 2-hour mark, and we'll wrap it up. I have a nice treat for myself here today. One of the finest, Lawson's Finest Liquid Sip of Sunshine from up in Vermont. Treat myself. So we'll get some of that going. Alright. Beautiful. Cheers, guys. Alright. Well, that's power through. So next we're going to do D6. Got 2 of them. Little vision ports on the side there. D6. These are also absolutely tiny. Snip. I don't want to lose those. Snip. Okay. Let's try to clean up that flash as best we can. Excuse me if my head's in the way. I'm just trying to not take a big chunk out of the piece. Let's see what the hell I'm doing here. Alright, flip that over. Do the same thing on this guy. Boom. Boom. Alright. Okay, so that's that. Put these guys on as well. Same kind of deal. Alright. Well, Surfer, no worry about being late. You can join whenever. Welcome. Thanks for coming. I just kind of sprung this one on you guys today. I didn't think I was going to have time to do it. Where did that go? Didn't think I was going to have time to do a live stream today, but turned out I did. So here we are. I can't pick this piece up. Come on. Get on there. All right, there we go. This is our little vision port. I'm going to flip that over so we get our flash on the bottom and mount that right into place. And our little guide notch there. Thank you, Tamiya. Sorry, excuse my sniffle. Little extra cement. Whoop-a-doom. Bam. Bam. Vision port. Look at that. We love it. Okay. Flip this over. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Woo. A little bit of cement. See if we can pick this piece up. Struggle, 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 struggle. I can't. See if I can get it on my knife. Come on, baby. Come on. There we go. Okay. Slide that off. There we go. We're going to take that. Take our hobby knife and slowly slide this guy into place. He hit some of that dried cement and didn't want to go. Rotate. Push that down. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. All right. Let's make sure that's even. I don't want these to be crooked, even though sometimes they were. If you look at these vehicles in real life, these T-34s, these things were absolutely slapped together, so sometimes they're a bit messy, but we don't want to be too messy. All right, so we've got our two little vision ports on the side there. Very nice. All right. If anybody's just joining, welcome. We've been at this for quite some time now, but we are working on Tamiya's T-34. Oh, I can't talk. It's because I'm tired and I've been doing this a bunch of times. It's not because of the beer, I promise. But yeah, we're doing Tamiya's T-34 76, the CHTZ version with the Uralmash pressed steel turret. It's a 1943 production. And today we knocked out our external fuel tanks, some of our mounting grips here, mounting rails on the side, and all this progress on the turret. It's very nice. Okay, so we've got our two vision ports on there. Now I've just got to do some grab handles. Grab handle, grab handle, grab handle. One more pistol port in the back. We got to get our hatches on here, and that is all we got to do. So let's wrap this thing up. Let's do the pistol port on the back first. That is D1. I believe that's this little guy. Yep. Let's nip that off. Boom. Let's see. We've got a little guide for this one as well. Just put a dollop of cement on there. Grab our pistol port and gently zhuzh this guy into position. Boom. There we go. We're coming along, guys. This is good. Okay. Let's get our grab handles on there. So we need two D48s down on the end here. Okay. So we'll snip those off. Don't know why these have 4 connecting points apiece. They are very securely attached to this sprue. But you know what? It's better that they got here in one piece, so I'll take it. We're going to really carefully buff that off, or flash off there. These long pieces are fragile, so we really want to be careful not to snap them in half. I've done it before. Like, oh, are you kidding me? What did I just say? I was just saying we're going to be careful here and not break these. And as the words came out of my mouth, I snapped it in half. That's okay. We can fix it. We can fix it. It's fine. Accidents happen. Say la vie. That's the way the world goes around. Alright. So we'll clean these up. We'll get them on there and fix them up. No sweat. No sweat. Okay. Just cleaning off some of our connector points. A little flash here. Steve says, will you complete in other live streams? Yes, I'm going to try and live stream this entire build in various sections. So this is our 3rd live stream. We're about 4 hours in, probably in our 5th hour at this point, actually. And I'm going to try and do the whole thing because a lot of people have asked, you know, what goes into the whole process. And I just figured we'll put the whole thing on here, raw, unedited, just building the kit from start to finish. And I figured this is a good one to do because it's a classic. It's not too complicated, so that's good. All right, so we'll do our non-broken piece first. Get a little glue, a little cement. Keep calling it glue. It's not glue, it's plastic cement. In our guide holes there, we're gonna go boom, boom. Drop that into place. Let that set up. Get a little extra cement on the top, just for good measure. And let that settle. Who asked about the mini art kit? Surfer, about a mini art M3 Lee. I haven't done any mini art kits, but I've heard good things. They look nice, at least. And I haven't done a Lee or a Grant or whatever you want to call it. But I'd like to, so I'm curious how that goes. Sounds like it'll be a fun build. All right, let's get our busted one on here. We're gonna have to do a little maneuvering. So I'm gonna put our front side on first and kind of pivot that into place. Sorry, my finger's in the way. I don't really have a good way of doing this and showing you guys at the same time. So that's our first half. Got our second half on here now too. Boom. Little cement. Grab the piece. Pop it on there. A little extra cement. And then we'll try and flip this up. And spin it to connect with its little buddy over here. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. Doing some like operation stuff here. All right. Come on. Come on. Come on, dude. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, so we're very close. They're just about kissing. Let's touch them together like that. We're going to press the two sides in very gently. That should do it. Okay, just gently flex those into place. Don't want to overdo it. It's okay if there's a little sag in it. That happens. Not too shabby, huh? We saved it. Woo! Crazy Loca, it was a very exciting first live stream of Road Wheels. I sense your sarcasm, but yeah, that was a fun one. Okay, guys, we got our grab handles on there. We have just a few pieces left to go today. Let's get our back grab handle on here. That's D47. Snip that off, snip that off. Boom, boom, boom. Snip, snip. Good. Let's very carefully clean this up without breaking anything. Flip this over. I shouldn't have said I was going to break something because I did last time and I actually did break something. So maybe if I just don't talk about it, it won't happen. But here I go talking about it anyway. This is what happens on hour 2 of a live stream when I'm just babbling at myself. Well, I'm talking to you guys. But you know. Save celebration. Woo, you're right. Take a sip of whatever you're sipping on. Alright. Let's get this guy on here. Our rear grab handle. Boom, boom. 2 connection points there. Gently judge that into place. That's good. Quick hit of cement, quick hit of cement. Got too much cement on there, but it's okay because we're going to texturize this turret tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next time we do this anyway. All right. So there are all of our grab handles. The last things we need to do are just put our hatch covers and our little lift eyes on here. So we'll do the lift eyes first. Snip these guys off. All D13. They're all identical pieces. Boom, 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 boom. And all we need to do with these is just put them in parallel with the direction of the tank. So I'm going to start in the back left here. Just put a little bit of cement in the hole. Grab our lifting eye with our tweezers and just gently pop that into place. Once it's in there, we can tweak it a little bit as necessary. Nothing fancy, but they're in there now. Okay, that's one. Let's go on to number two. Same dealio. Pop that guy in there, give it a little rotate to be parallel with the hull. That's two. Two down, two to go. Boom. Last one. All right. Let's pop that in there. Three. Kind of line that up with our last one, make sure they look okay. And four is going to go right next to our commander's periscope here. Grab that, gently kind of zhuzh that into place. Boom. I don't have a ton of room to maneuver here, so I'll get the hobby knife out. Kind of twist that into place with the tweezers too. That looks all right. All right, those four lifting eyes are looking halfway decent. Good. Again, they don't have to be anything special. These tanks were thrown together pretty quickly, so they could get out fighting. Also, a quick test, our armament cover here is working pretty well. Okay. All right. And then last but not least for the day, we got to get our two hatch covers on here. One of the things I love about these is this tank was kind of, the T-34 was kind of lovingly dubbed the Mickey Mouse, because when the two hatches are open, it kind of looks like Mickey Mouse, which is funny because capitalist Disney is kind of the opposite of what was going on in Soviet Russia in the 40s. So, just a little bit of irony there. But I always think of that when I see these turrets. The Mickey Mouse turrets. That's pretty funny. So, next time you're watching a Disney movie and you see that logo, think of the good old T-34. Alright, so that's the inside, that's the outside. We've got a kind of a gnarly injector pin mark there, so let's get the putty out one last time for today and get some putty in there, because we're going to need to sand that down. I don't want those big injector pin marks visible, because I'm going to build this hatch open, as we mentioned, so we can get our commander in there. Okay. A little bit more than I need. See if I can scrape some of that off. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. Let that settle. Let's take a peek. Oh, we're over the 2 hour mark here, guys. Cheers if you've been here the whole time. If not, welcome, guys. We're just wrapping up for today, but a couple more things to do. We're working on Tamiya's T-34 76 CHTZ Uralmash 1943 turret, and we're working on the turret. Earlier in the episode, we got these external fuel tanks done, and last time, well, 2 times ago, we did our road wheels. So, we're just doing a little turret work today. Let's check in on our pole, guys. Earlier in the video, we did a a little poll on what everyone's favorite version of the T-34 is. Oh, it looks like the T-34-85, the upgun version, is taking a healthy lead here with 55% of the vote. The T-34-76 Classic that we're working on only has 45 right now. So if you haven't voted yet, make sure you do. We've got over 100 votes in there right now, and the 85 is running away with it. So if you represent the Classic 76, make sure you vote if you haven't yet, because the 85 is running away with it. And if you're an 85 guy, congrats, because that's going well. All right, let's sand down some of this putty that we just put on here. Clean this up a bit so we don't have that nasty injector pin. That should make a difference when we paint. So you can see it obviously, but it's flush. So when we paint, it won't be as visible, which is good. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Clean that up. Hit it with the sandpaper. Just going down grits here. That'll give us a nice smooth finish. Okay, good. 2 down. All right, let's do our hatches. So we're gonna get these. We're gonna do this up in the open position. So they're gonna notch right in there like that. Pretty simple. I'm gonna take some of our plastic cement and just put that right in the hinge there. And then we're gonna gently pop this guy into position. And I'm gonna hold it there until it starts to settle. And then we can make any tweaks we need to make. Okay. So we want those to be straight up and down, like so. Okay. Don't want any torque on this one. You don't want them going too far left, too far right. So we just want them straight up and down. Let that one dry like that. I'll show you guys a reference photo. Oh, Logansky, I've done the that T-34-85 by Academy as well. That was a fun kit. There's some pictures of it on my Instagram if you want to check them out. Let's see, I'm showing you guys a picture of the T-34 reference that I'm using. Where is it? Oh yeah, so this is the T-34-76 that's at the American Heritage Museum in Hudson, Massachusetts. But you can see there are our Mickey Mouse ears. You can kind of see, right? The hatches. Kind of fun, huh? So that's what we're going for. All right. So our starboard side is doing pretty well. Let's get our port hatch in here now. Grab the other one. Same song and dance here. We're just going to hold that guy right into the joint. It's got the hinge there. I'm going to let that settle. I'm going to apply a little extra on the rear here, out of view. Slightly out of view. Whoa! Kind of loosened it up a little bit so it started to move. And we want these guys to be right on the money with each other. Looking okay right now, so let's let those settle. I'm not going to touch that for a minute. Let's see what's going on. I don't have any paint and can't spray where I live. I'll be using brushes only. Any suggestions? Tamiya, like bottle paints like this. Let's see. This is gold leaf, so not the best example, but I like the Tamiya tub paints like this. Surfer for brush painting. That's how I started. These are super user friendly. So if you can get your hands on some of these, I would recommend doing their little paint tubs like this for brush painting. Adam says, are you going to make a details of poor quality of this tank? What do you mean, like the kit itself or the T-34? What do you mean specifically? Also, guys, see, look. It does look like Mickey Mouse, doesn't it? It's kind of funny. Doot. There's our little Mickey Mouse tank. All right, so let's just check it out. Let's put it on here. Try to fit it on the hull. See how it looks. Got these nice little notches here from Tamiya, so it settles in there well. You just kind of float it over the hole and then just rotate until she drops into place. Boop, like that. There we go. The maiden voyage of the turret on the hull here. She's looking pretty good. Our little Mickey Mouse tank. Hey, buddy. Pretty cool, right? So I think that's going to be it for us today, guys. That is the main construction here. So the next time we meet up, first we're going to do some texturing. We're going to use our anti-slip paste from Ammo to do some texturing on the turret and on the gun mantlet, some other places on the tank too. So here's my M4A3 that I'm working on. You can see how I've done some texture on this. So it makes it a little more realistic. When you paint it up, it looks a little more like real metal. So we're going to do that on here next time around. And we're also going to use some of our Value Gear stowage. Get some packs and bags and stuff on there, make it look like somebody's actually using this tank. And it should be a good time. Yeah, so questions, when's the next stream? I'm not sure, but make sure you guys, A, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube, so you'll get a notification when we do this next time. And B, if you're on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at Sprues and Brews. I pretty much always, well, you know what I always do? I make a post ahead of time just saying that this is coming. Sometimes it's day of, sometimes it's a little bit sooner, just to say, hey, heads up, we're going to be doing a live stream today, if you can tune in. Probably some point this week. So yeah, we'll come back, we'll do some texturing on our turret here, we'll do some stowage, and then it'll be time to move on to painting. So we'll be doing that pretty soon. Yeah, so that's going to be it for today, guys. Let's check our poll one last time here. We're going to end it. So if anybody's going to vote right now if you haven't done so yet. Because right now, we've got 110 votes. The T-34-85 is running away with it. It's 56%, and then the 76 T-34-76 finished the day with 44% of the vote. I guess you guys like the big boomsticks, right? So, very nice. Thanks for voting, guys. Yeah, so that's going to be it for us today, guys. Until next time, be well, happy building. Cheers, guys.